The show features adults using adult language and discussing mature topics. You have been warned.
No, obviously.
And also, it was fucking hilarious and incredibly in character.
You know what else is fucking hilarious?
Are we goddamn live?
We are goddamn live.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, Scotty, this isn't as funny as what I did to Callie last session, where she was in the middle of talking about your Snuggie. Hi.
Hi, everybody. Long time no see.
How's it
Hi.
going? Yeah. Does anybody want to recap what the fuck was happening last time?
Cat does it.
Yeah, I vote second.
Cool.
I can't recap anything.
She's naming a cap.
Sorry for the greyhound there, Cat.
Uh-huh.
Some of us were getting ready for the parade. And some of us weren't. I think I remember both Gruk and Cyberus were thinking of trying to do something with the Neverborn tier. And we were going to go to the library or something like that.
You're already at the.
Yeah.
You went
Or
to
we're at the library.
To the library.
That's what it was.
Yeah, so Gruk and Cyberus went to the library to learn a little bit more about the tier and anything they can about how to use it and how to affect corruption. See. Cyberus learned about a group called the Brotherhood of Eternal Blood, who are a very rarely seen group that are all exclusively Wunari De-Fraggers, mostly Gaia Wunari, that tend to stick to rural, forested, corrupted areas. And I believe the last place they were seen
It was Grant's Peak, Ghoulville.
Ghoulville, near Giant's Peaks. That's right.
Giant, huh? Need better handwriting.
Wait, Giant's Peak?
Mm-hmm. Also, Vex, you can bite me.
I mean, it is a natural attack for all Lunari.
We've had this discussion. Anyway.
Also, I think Demona was working on their Diamond Demons, or what was the name of the group? Demon Dogs. Demon Dogs.
Diamond Demon.
I'm like, I knew what it was supposed to be.
I really want to
make
I really want to make a homebrew demon character, demon monster now that's made of diamond. It sounds badass as fuck.
It's just Emma Frost mixed with a parademon.
Pretty much.
I was thinking Pit Fiend, but sure.
They,
Can you fucking not? I'm not giving you fried donuts.
They kind of have them in
You know, the
Planescape.
melting point of diamond's pretty low.
It is surprisingly. I actually okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. Demona was working with the demon dogs and setting up some stuff for planning security and a little bit of a demonstration during the parade. Passion messaged an individual and then was going arranged to meet up with them, and perhaps had plans to also try and meet up with one of the members of the Circle of Night, the proselytizer, who y'all would remember as the woman who brought her back from the dead. And then beyond that, the more immediate thing for all of you is that the parade is the next day. I'll say at this point, you have like maybe 5 or 6 more hours of daylight before you need to get to bed if you want to actually make it up, get a long rest before the parade.
Grunk will do that. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
me too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Quick question. Are we doing Sirenscape at all, Scott? It's fine if we're not. I just wanted to know because I was using something a little different tonight.
No, we're not, but I can fire it up.
Okay.
Sorry, folks. We're totally professionals here.
Super profesh.
So the Sirenscape credits are up above Vex, Passion's character. You should check them out. They have really great soundscapes and whatnot. They have Descent Avernus, which is my favorite out of all their stuff because it's very metal. Got a lot of metal there. They got Ghost of Saltmarsh. They got a bunch of stuff for Pathfinder, right?
Mhm.
What else do they got? Oh, yeah, Dinosaur Laser
board
Fight,
games
which
Call
is
of
the best
Cthulhu.
one.
Yes, it is the best. However, this particular one that I am playing right now, that I'm gonna restart whenever you're ready, so
I'm
we can
all set.
actually hear it. Okay. Is actually I'm playing it through Sirenscape, but I got it off a website called freestockmusic.com. And it's called Triangles by Diamond Ace, and it's fucking awesome. And Scotty, I'll send you the credit stuff to put in the description.
Ooh, I like it already. Start it up.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you guys were just crashing before bed. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry for spamming all the links in the chat. It expanded all of them. Yeah, so unless there's anything any of the rest of you would like to do, you guys settled in for your long rest and awake the next morning early enough that you guys can make your way to your designated spots before the parade. I believe... Does everybody remember where they were supposed to be during said parade?
I'm at the top of some float, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Gruk immediately, when he starts the day, wild shapes into a dire laser pop.
I think we were trying to have Onyx as far away from Susan as possible. I think on the opposite side of the float.
Yeah.
As far away. Passion probably is up with Susan, because Passion has an ego the size of a fucking U-Haul truck, so...
What? It's crazy.
Demona would be on the back of the Demon Dog's limo.
Okay.
Yeah, Cyberus would be on the front main float as well with his t-shirt can.
Would
I'll
Cyberus
say-
be on my
Which
back?
also doubles as a cannon.
Because I think you were on my back when we went up the tower.
It could be,
right?
yeah, that'd be cool.
You
Give
don't
you
have
more
to
range on the gun.
for the whole time, but yeah.
I'll say when you guys come to and wake up, you see that there are... It's busy for this time of day. I'll say, you guys wanted to get there pretty early, so people start moving around and setting up, food carts and decorations and stuff at probably, 5 or 6 in the morning. You guys obviously don't need to be there quite that early. But by the time you make it to the area where the parade is supposed to start, there are already a fairly large crowd, mostly of volunteers and people that are going to be in the parade, but also there are people watching that are mostly the early comers that are getting their chairs set up and everything.
In the good spots, as my dad would
Yeah.
say, because he's one of those people.
Yeah, my dad is too.
Pisses me off so much. Why do we have to be there 2 hours before everything, Dad?
Yes. So true. Yeah. I
Bringing up that
believe
parental trauma.
you guys were going to be on the float called Radix in Motion, which is a mostly inconspicuous sort of black coated float with several different chairs, including a really fancy looking one for Susan. And then above it floats this massive dodecahedron that represents the world, with displays on each face that represent each megacity's cultures. And you can sort of recognize some of the more iconic places that you guys know. And there would be chairs and spots for all of you to sit. The way that Susan's chair faces, she would be facing forward, so Onyx could sit behind her and not make eye contact, if you would like.
Onyx, the chair is bolted to the floor. Onyx rips the chair, turns it around, sits it back down. Is what I 100% picturing. Even if it's facing the right way, she rips it off just for the sake of spiting people. Because that seems pretty Onyx.
It's not that bad.
So you see Many more of a lot of the same floats that you had seen before, but this time they are fully completed. There's the one with that you had seen before that had only had like a styrofoam sculpture on there. And this time it is just a veritable forest of ice sculptures. There's this one absolutely massive white dragon statue towering over everything, and others that are there's sort of like the dragon is sort of perched over with its claws extended, and dangling from the claws are like a flock of tiny frozen birds and various different creatures, and it's incredibly intricate and pretty. There are several like druids and a handful of other spellcasters sort of maintaining them and working on them. There are the floats for the various different schools, and there are a handful of kids, not quite as many at this early, but they are starting to trickle in to get set up and everything. You see now that the one float that you guys had noticed before that is completely black, and it's that sort of like too black that looks almost fake and photoshopped. That has
Vantablack, nice.
Dozens and dozens of different like what are they? Braziers and candles and tall candelabras, and one like arch over the top with a chandelier. That is, all of them are lit with a very low fire in them now, whereas before they had been completely empty. And I will say that, oh shit, like, I have dice. What nonsense is that?
Oh no, you have to roll.
No, you don't need to bust that out just yet.
When you guys arrive, there is only one person on that float, and it looks to be a very short fire genocide woman with soft red skin and really thick red braids that sort of curl up at the ends like flames, who is like doing stretches. She's like wearing a sort of like dancer's leotard sort of thing, and just sort of watches the... Are you a giant dire corgi?
Yeah, I'm the size of a horse.
Yeah, you stand out quite a bit.
I'm
Just sort of watching as you guys go.
Think a dog the size of a horse, but it's a corgi, so it's really thick.
That is so good. So good. That's
So
boy.
sees them doing stretches and gets all excited and does like the paw thing.
Aww.
She actually like comes over and gives and like, okay, this is awkward because I know you're probably a person, but can I give you scritches because that's adorable?
Just look at her and tilt my head.
Oh, you're Gruk, right? The druid.
Boom.
From
Lay on my
Heroes of
side.
Del Diablo. Oh my god, this is the best day ever. And she looks around to the rest of you.
That's pretty normal.
Fair. I'm Rana.
Hi. Passion.
Hi.
Are you guys doing any like performances in the parade, or are you just gonna be sitting on the floats as kind of like, look at us, we saved the world sort of thing?
Probably.
Gruk gets up, he sits, and he looks in the air, and he goes, bark!
Okay, yeah, that's cooler than what I can do, yeah.
I show her my t-shirt cannon.
Nice. She is very curious and asks what the t-shirt is for, and is excited to know about the restaurant.
I just pointed at the shirt that I'm wearing because I'm wearing one as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I doubt we had enough time to prepare for this. But did you make like a custom-made, super ridiculously large one? for a large size corgi to wear.
I think
Well,
that would be
then-
reasonable to assume.
I'll allow it.
Because what is that's not even like a that wouldn't even be a size. You couldn't even say that's like 5X, and that would just be like
No, you make that shit you make that shit custom.
yeah.
Like you basically get a couple of king size bed sheets and sew them together.
Even then, it still looks tight just because corgis have very fluff.
Yeah.
But it actually fits just fine.
Hmm.
If anything dangerous happens, you can flex it off, and I won't mind.
Looks
I don't
at
think corgis can flex.
looks at strength. That's not going to happen.
I mean, you are a dire corgi right now, so that is a lot stronger than you normally are, I assume.
Let me double check. Not by much, actually.
I'm sure it won't come up.
We'll be fine. Nothing bad ever happens at in parades. Like I said in the chat,
No, never.
it's not like Passion has actively tried to get people to attack her
Yeah, that did happen.
at any point ever. Passion has never tried to invite danger at her.
No, never. Absolutely not. Mm-mm. Where do I find thing?
I don't know.
The link. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. So I will say that all of this, you guys can sort of get together and get started. And you see sort of coming through the crowd, Panache Hill, the tiefling with like glittering dark violet skin and long black dreads come in. He's wearing an entirely black suit as well this time, but instead of the purple tie, it's like a really bright teal. And his cape is also that color, and it's a little glittery. And as he's sort of hustling over to you, you guys see behind him a human man and a tiefling child that are sort of they're sort of like trying to pull the kid through the crowd, but he is looking at everything and also begging for every single food cart they pass, which is pretty much as many food carts as you've ever seen in a single city block. He comes up to you guys. I'm glad y'all made it. Here it goes. I mean, sorry, I'm looking at Discord. So, you guys are mostly just gonna sit on the float and wave. You really only have to stick around for like the first couple of blocks after Susan does her address, and then you're free to go your whichever ways. I would say Gruk, it might be fun to start out with you doing a bit of an opening.
Or
More of a Bork on Cue light show, if you don't mind.
nods and pants.
So fucking cute. Oh god. And let's see. So, he turns to Demona and is like, so when did you plan on having your presentation with the demon dogs take place? Towards the end or in the middle, or?
We'll space it out.
Okay.
Block after block, so everyone can see.
Okay. And is there anything that anybody would like to say during the thing?
I have some
Okay.
things to say.
Not you. Anyone else?
I see how it is. Freedom of opinion and all.
Passion just kind of gives Onyx a look there. Shakes her head.
Gruk lays down, puts his head on his paws, looks at Onyx and whines.
No, it's fine. I'll shut up. I won't say anything, even if you hand me the mic. I want to spend the night with my girlfriend and not on a jail cell.
He says, I appreciate that. I'm sure everyone else does here too. And you guys can see, oh fuck, I forget all of you have garbage passive perception.
Do I, though?
It's so unusual for a D&D group.
14?
Nobody.
14
It's
isn't
like
bad.
14 or 15. Okay, it's not that bad, but it's also not great. Also, you have the best, and you have a 14.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've
I got a
literally
16.
played with groups where like...
Right
Okay.
now, I have keen smelling, so you could add a
Oh,
+5 on that if you really
Okay.
want to.
Okay.
I mean, I think
If
I've
they
played
smell.
with groups where like the lowest passive perception was like an 18 and the highest was like a 26.
Yeah, I've got like a 24, a 21, and a 24 in vaccine crew. I literally have 3 people that have a 19 or higher. So other things that you guys see, all manner of food carts. There are like carnival games like dart throwing, the ring toss stuff, different performers. Most of the performers hadn't started at this point, but they're also like kids in costumes. There's one kid running around with like a paper mache wolf mask and like a second pair of sleeves sewn on that look like they're stuffed with newspaper. There's a dark-skinned tiefling kid wearing like glitter makeup and a graffiti t-shirt with the sleeves torn off. Another kid in like a kind of cheesy remake of what Passion's Henshin costume looks like, but it's like very clearly homemade by mom that probably did it at like 2 a.m. the night before.
Just so you know, that's Passion's favorite kind of one-sheet costume she sees is the ones that like clearly they're just like, I want this and it's gonna look amazing, and it just looks so homemade, and that's what makes her happy.
A bunch of kids with like face paint reminiscent of Tomo's Eternal Rye
Arcane.
colorings. Yeah. And apparently there is at least one very popular vendor that is selling a little toy that looks like a ring that when you push a certain button on the inside lets poof a little red streamer like a streak of fire. And everywhere you fucking look are laser corgi t-shirts.
I somehow imagine there's like a bunch of Onyx fans who instead of like dressing up like Onyx, dress up like a bloody-nosed Susan.
I feel like that would get them kicked out very swiftly.
I was just thinking, all the Onyx fans are literally just wearing what they normally wear, but they ripped off the sleeves. Well, if the kids come over and play with the giant corgi, Gruk pretty much turns into like the male lion when he has to babysit all the cubs, where I just like lay there and they're just like going nuts.
Oh, I love it. I'm sorry, my thing just updated and I went deaf. So,
Onyx calls over to the kids that are playing with Gruk.
If any of them are ornery, like they pull my little corgi tail, I growl at them.
She's calling over to them. Don't get fooled. He's just doing it so he doesn't have to get close.
What? I don't understand what you mean there, Hera.
He's luring them in so he can bite them and eat them.
There we go. That makes sense.
Gruk lets out a big yawn, shows his giant teeth.
like half the kids do the like stumble back, and the other kids, the other half are like, oh, they're so big and shiny, and like almost try to climb in your mouth, and you have like a half moment of panic of like, I miscalculated.
It's so
Like,
big
the
and
instinct,
shiny.
because it's annoying and you have like wolf brain right now, is chomp down, but then the other half is like,
That's the thing,
that
though.
would be bad.
I
That's a
don't.
bad
I
idea.
don't have
He doesn't
wolf brain.
He doesn't have wolf brain.
That's fair, yeah.
That's
You keep all
the
the
greatest boon
stats.
of wild shape.
All mental stats kept.
Mm-hmm.
But what if Gruk's hungry?
There are two wolves inside of you. Both of them want to chomp down on that child.
But I will say the urge to bark is probably the biggest concern of mine.
Fair. And I will say that eventually all the kids get herded away as everybody comes together to start.
Also, Passion 100% would be signing anyone who wanted her autograph, because that's how Passion is.
There are a lot of people that kind of want all of your autographs, and a couple of people ask for Gruks, and are like,
I get my foot in some mud, and I just go.
I imagine they're like, sign my journal, and then it's just your
Giant paw
entire
print.
paw. It's not even
it doesn't.
a paw print.
It doesn't
at
even
that
look like a
point.
paw
It's
print.
just
Just
one page that is entirely black.
Just mud.
I just
He is a coarse-sized corgi.
Yeah.
Unless you have like a full-on 8
Yeah.
by 11 book.
those paws are
They're-
going to be big because they're so short
Yeah.
stacked. So
Oh god, they're so chubby.
I just imagine if like any kids would actually come up to ask for an autograph from Onyx, she would challenge them first to like a to arm wrestling.
you do
The
do you,
first kid
do you
is kind
give
of
them a
like-
handicap where you're like, I only use my 2 fingers or something?
It's my pinky.
No, basically the first kid who comes up, okay, you have to arm wrestle me though. And basically, she doesn't expect anyone to win. She just wants to see who has the guts to actually do it.
The first one is a like young elf boy in like a sports t-shirt, and he's sort of like, I mean, but you're like the strongest of all of them. Like, I don't know if I can win. And like some kid just comes barreling out of the float that off of the float that has for the Gothic Collegiate Academy, the one with their
Yeah.
team sponsor or logo.
We know what you mean.
Their sports thing
Mhm.
is the gargoyle. She comes running over with this gigantic tuba on her back and just comes barreling towards you. I'll volunteer. I want to arm wrestle you.
Yeah, Onyx
She
uses
is
the powers
tiny. She
to
is a
raise up
dwarf
the
child.
street a little bit to create like a platform so they can arm wrestle on.
Nice.
It's like, let's go.
Okay,
This is where Cat rolls a nat 20.
watch.
Was it a nat 1 instead?
No.
Hera, roll the dice.
Mm-hmm.
Did you not take them out before we started? Come on.
They're right there.
I didn't take mine out either.
I rolled an 18, which comes down to 28.
She got a 5. She's a commoner child, okay?
I mean,
Not me rolling
Onyx
for
Onyx like lets her actually struggle for a little bit.
She's
And-
like working up a sweat. She is trying. Not. It also doesn't help that she's like having trouble getting a grip because she's got like the awkward like band gloves on, and it's really ridiculous and adorable.
Onyx is like, anyone want to help her out?
The like half elf boy is like looking around, like I guess I help. Like clambers up behind her, almost like smacks himself in the face with the tuba, and attempts to join in.
I just imagine like it continues on until more and more kids just like
Yes.
all like pulling on Onyx's arm and slowly defeating her.
By their powers
We'll say it
combined.
takes about 4 or 5 kids before they actually pull you off your feet.
Imagine like someone's not even like holding on to like my not holding on to like Onyx's like the fist ball, but instead like trying to tickle Onyx or something like that.
Yes. Mhm. And then it's like, this isn't working. She's a rock. And the kids are like, no shit.
Onyx, actually, the kid that was tickling her is like, oh, it does work.
High wisdom, bitches. Moderately high.
And yeah, she eventually like just loses to all the kids and hands out some autographs to them.
They're very happy. Oh God, I can't. I'm sorry. I just recognized this one of the floats I put in here. So you guys all get together for the opening of the parade, which is announced by the band of the Gothic Collegiate, the school that is sort of right. It's the float directly behind you guys. And Susan sort of stands up as the music comes to a halt. Welcome, all the citizens of Del Diablo. We're here today to celebrate our survival through a terrifying and horrible attack. Thanks in part to these group of heroes behind us. They put themselves in the line of danger and sacrificed greatly so that the rest of you could be safe. And today we celebrate their sacrifice and their bravery and the resilience of Del Diablo. May the parade begin. And at that point, she gives the signal to Gruk to bark as loud as he can.
I look right at her and... No, I'm kidding. I look up at her.
Change the entire session.
Roll initiative.
Cat has to roll 3 million dice.
During this entire part of Susan's speech, Onyx was making sure that she always had something in her mouth, like always eating something. Just had like a pack of snacks there.
And as soon as as soon as the laser lights up, you actually see that floating dodecahedron that represents Del Diablo. The face of it is backlit by that blast of energy, and the way that it hits the light and sort of refracts off of this floating statue almost sort of looks like a much smaller version of the lights produced by the eye above Del Diablo. And the whole thing lurches into motion with this thing still floating where it is above you guys as you continue on your way down the street. Other floats that you see, there's the Gothic Collegiate, of course, where all of the kids are in like gray and black school uniforms, and most of the kids on the float are in the band, but there are also like baton throwers in the back. There's a float for Beastburg District 4 Elementary and Middle, which is all manner of awakened animal children. It is fucking adorable and ridiculous. Their team is the Pirates, and their entire float is decorated to look like a pirate ship that is flying a flag with the image of the eye of Del Diablo on it. Sorry, I just like imagine this. At the head of it is a young kid that's sort of like doing cheerleading chants, and they are a red panda.
Hera, the national animal of Starfall Academy.
Oh fuck, is that where I got that from?
No, that's from our game. So no.
No, I know, but like I've seen the art of it, and I'm just like, cute animal. I have to think of the spot.
Actually, that might have actually been where you saw it, because remember I did show you how to do this stream layout.
No, I've seen it. I've seen you guys do it live. I think I've popped in a time or two. I didn't really see much of it.
It's the national animal of Starfall Island. Yeah.
Other floats. There is the a unit of the knights in full armor that are just these glistening black, full plate clad knights that march in perfect step, and far above them floats a single black flying ship that looks like an ancient, like, Age of Sail galley. But you guys would know is definitely equipped with some serious weaponry. And then all throughout it are those flying, floating paper mache statues of dragons and rocks and aboleth and all manner of different things. During, I'll say, Demona, do you want to describe how the Demon Dog's entrance and exit, or their presentation aspect is?
Oh, great! You're putting me on the spot.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I honestly hadn't thought much more than a couple of. Okay, brain. Let's try and work through this. The mages in the guild doing minor illusions and casting things that would normally, destroy a crowd, but it's just a puff of air.
Mm-hmm.
The rogues throwing knives back and forth across the roads. Bards probably doing some either mock or probably realistic jam sessions, just playing with the rest of the music. Each different class doing their own unique thing.
Mm.
Other than that, I hadn't really thought about it.
I'll say the as you guys are traveling, you come to one block that is just completely strewn with streamers and strings and everything. And if this whole thing weren't like perfectly choreographed, it would just be a gigantic fucking spider web of tangled things of all of these floating things sort of flying through there. And as the globe of Radix passes through all of these wires, you guys see a blur of motion, and a aerial silk dancer just swoops past you guys and just glides underneath the bottom of the dodecahedron to the other side. And as they're sort of swirling around and dancing in, Demona, this is where the first where the helicopter would be.
So it's that time?
Mm-hmm.
All right. As the helicopter comes in, she will walk on the limo to stand on the hood and wait for extraction through the helicopter.
As you're sort of standing there, the helicopter comes low, and these aerial dancers, there looks like 3 of them. It looks like an elf, a human, and the third one, she might be an elf, but she does have a sort of like a silvery sheen to her skin. It could just be body glitter because there's a lot of that in this parade, or it could be something else. They actually, one of them, the woman with the like glittering skin tone, actually uses her silk streamer to zip through the helicopter.
Damn.
Nice.
And then when she lands on the other side, you see the one of the like technicians on the other side cut it free, and it sort of zips past and swirls around Demona a bit as it comes out the other side. And Demona leaves in pretty spectacular style.
Onyx rolls her eyes.
Susan does the golf clap.
Cyberus starts shooting some shirts into the crowd.
Yeah, I
Oh,
thought you
they're
were going to say the Cyber
here.
starts shooting shirts at the helicopter.
I just realized this music's playing the whole time or something, right? There's music going.
Yes.
I'm involuntarily swaying to it because that's one of my layers of corruption.
fine. I'm just imagining this little dog just fucking
Well,
vibing.
I'm sorry for Cerberus, because they're on my back. That might be an issue.
It's definitely going to throw off the aim a little bit.
I also want to point
can't
out
aim that
It's
thing.
accurate cannon. I don't know how accurate you can be with it anyway.
Pretty accurate.
since Chewie went on a shopping trip with some others, I think Passion and
Tomo.
and Tomo.
Yeah, as soon as we took her out with the girls.
Yeah, I imagine she got like her proudest and favorite thing she got back from that is like
Look in
basically
the group chat.
like a dinosaur hoodie.
Of the Retroverse chat.
And it's like a hoodie that has like when you pull up the hood, you have like the eyes and everything on top of it, and like some like teeth coming there too, so it forms like a mouth and everything. But this one is actually not like a dinosaur, but instead like it's like a dragon,
Nice.
a Tesla dragon specific.
Nice.
And I'll say that unless any of you guys would like to do anything more spectacular, the parade continues. It goes for several blocks, like probably not blocks. I think it's like proper miles.
I mean, each block could be a long distance, because in this city, I assume it's probably gridded, right? I would assume it's a gridded
Yeah,
city.
but like a
because that
block
seems-
is still like a much smaller
Fair.
area.
I don't know. It probably depends where you are.
Yeah,
in
I was
this
gonna say,
city,
if it's a
because
true gridded city, it probably has like longer blocks with walking paths between those areas.
No, I mean,
They
so
don't
this.
necessarily need to be
So Del Diablo is like
Yeah.
a city that grew over centuries and that is just massive in size. Like,
That doesn't mean much still, though, Hera. They Roman cities were massive and grew from a thing
yes,
and had gridded because they intentionally planned to grid it.
but also this is the corruption city. I'm not sure like how well
They're
city planning
lawful.
even works.
Hera, they are lawful. They are lawful as hell. They
And-
100% planned that city.
Anyway,
Anyway.
Gruk is like if there's specific key parts to a song, or you get like the thunder, with the thunder
There
part.
are
He barks in the air.
nice, yeah. There are many other bands that sort of travel all throughout. I just happen to have the song on because I like it, and I don't feel like switching it
And
around all the
also-
time.
It's good.
I can't do it on my seat, but Passion is sitting like sideways in her chair, like on the armrest, pretty much.
Of course, must
'Cause,
do the
you
gay
know,
sit.
That must do the gay sit.
Um,
Also, because
And
let's be honest, it's just extra as hell to sit that way.
after a
I mean-
very several hours of chaotic cheering people in all manner of costumes and throwing things to you and flowers and little bits of jewelry and things like that.
Can I try to dance?
Sure.
Oh my god.
Also,
Roll
Chewie,
performance.
the hoodie, she chose it for herself, and she doesn't actually know how adorable she looks in it because she can't see everything. And the reason she chose it because it has such comfortable fabric.
Do you want to say? Do you want to say that Chewie is riding either on the bike next to with Tomo? Because like I kind of want her to be here for this because I feel like she would really enjoy it.
Oh, she
But it
would
would be
absolutely.
hard as fuck
we were
to keep
100%
up track.
bringing her with.
Like she would,
Okay.
she would if she wasn't there with Onyx or like I don't know on the bike with Tomo.
Probably on the bike with Tomo, let's be
She
honest.
would be probably there with Lily.
It's just harder for those that are in the crowd outside the actual
Yeah.
parade procession to keep up with it.
Oh,
I'll
Onyx
say-
also isn't sitting like a normal person. She's sitting in a lotus set.
Oh, I see. I pictured her sitting like just full spread, just hunched
Nope.
over. Yes, I got cat.
Nope, she's sitting like
Tucked, crissy-cross.
yeah.
See, I can just
Um,
picture her doing the spread, just the legs wide open.
And I'll say as the evening comes to a close and the light in the sky of Del Diablo goes from that brilliant red to the dimmer green. The last float in the parade that until now has been dark and kind of motionless. It just had had 3 dancers on it that hadn't really moved. They were just sort of standing back to back to back with all three of them, unmoving, almost like they were standing up sleeping. Suddenly on that float, every tiny collection of candles and tall candelabra and brazier and the big
brazier. You know, because brazier and brazier are very different things.
I know this, and I always fuck it up. You know what I mean?
One supports fire, the other supports boobs.
Both are hot.
That was a me-level mistake.
I always fuck that one up. Anyway,
Inspiration point
all
for
of
the DM.
the candles in that immediately flare to life with just arcing foot-tall flames. And the three people stand up from where they had been sitting. There is the short genocide that you had seen earlier with the red skin and thick braids. A gray-skinned Ember Rye with glowing golden eyes and just this big floof of gray smoke-colored hair. And a tiefling woman with short hair that goes from blonde to red, and her horns that sort of curl back with white hot tips. This muty music starts as they stand up and begin doing this slow swaying dance, and as they do, the flames on all of the candles and candelabras brighten and rise significantly. One of them dances closer to the crowd and loops a sash around the neck of someone in the crowd and like makes close eye contact, and then slips away and back into the group of them before they all slump to the ground again as the music slows. And for a second, the crowd sort of holds their breath before the music rises abruptly again, and the dancers all leap to their feet, except now they are massive. They're not humans anymore. They are 12-foot tall Ifriti. The smoky-haired Rye rushes at the tiefling and like launches themselves upwards into a stand on the Rye's shoulders, and the last dancer, the smallest, the one that you guys had met, runs at them and climbs up this tower and stands at the top, throwing out her hands as her long hair tumbles loose, flickering like flames. And her hair brightens and flares into actual flame. God damn it.
For context,
We're providing great support. We're providing great support on the Zoom chat. Don't worry about it.
Climbing a tower of giant woman sounds like Hera's dream.
The woman at the top of this tower, her hair brightens and flares into actual flames, and all three of them are just engulfed in flames and tumble to the floor of the float in a plume of fire that rushes out over the heads of the crowd before tumbling into ashes. And a small gust of air stirs the ashes, and rising from them flit about 3 smoke methods, whipping up the smoke and ash into pillars for them to dance around and blanketing the crowd. The music darkens and grows as the methods slowly, as the methods begin to dance slowly before bursting into clouds of smoke and embers. The music stops. And then from the ashes bursts another gout of flame, and this time in the shape of a phoenix rising from the ashes. And as the flames die down, you see the tiefling standing where the phoenix was, with the Rye balanced on one shoulder and the Genocide on the other one, arms outstretched and breathing heavily. And then they jump down and bow before grabbing candles from all over the float and handing them out to the crowd. And that
Onyx shouts, "Yo, that was hot."
It gets a lot of agreement. They are very much flirting. I'll say that if any of you get, you guys see them handing candles out, at least the one that you guys had met, has the habit of when she hands one of the candles, she winks, and the lit candle, the lit flame on it gets much brighter for a second or two until they leave.
Tasha's like, God, I hope they're recording. I have to show Sammy that. She'd find that awesome. Also,
Oh,
it
it-
embarrassed
it
the
was-
shit out of her.
It was absolutely recorded because there are, as large as the crowd is, you know that this is not
Oh, yeah.
possibly the entire population of Del Diablo. And
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
say that actually the only one of you guys who would really have the height to see it. So Gruk, no, you're still not actually that big. You can see that the crowd goes on in both directions for several blocks, even the people that are far away. And it looks like on every couple of blocks, they have set up TVs, a large, like, Times Squares style TVs showing the parade. And Demona, as your helicopter flies out, and you can actually see this performance from the helicopter as well. You see that all along the path that the parade went, there are people for miles. It looks like even in the places where the parade couldn't really get close to, there are block parties pretty much everywhere. And the parade comes to an end, but the party does not stop. It continues with people going into effectively a massive street festival style entertainment thing with like party games, plenty of booze as far as the eye can see for really cheap. Costumes and like different small gifts and jewelry and all kinds of things. And there are other performances on street corners. There's one that's a fire eater, a handful of illusionists, one individual that for a second you think are an illusionist, and then realize that you're pretty sure they're doing it the old-fashioned way and just using sleight of hand. One very popular one with the kids is the bubble artist, who apparently has either the equipment to do so or the magic capabilities to do so, is able to make bubbles that can support one's weight for a couple of feet, and delights the kids by encasing them in a bubble that can lift them. It gets about 2 feet off the ground or so before it pops and drops them back down.
Are they making bubbles out of soup, stews, and chowders?
No, out of I
That's
don't
a reference
understand
for
that
somebody
reference.
that's not here, apparently.
I was losing her food there.
Okay,
Somebody will get it,
that
probably.
happens all the
I hope.
time. Of course. Put in the chat. Hera stream, climbing a tower of giant woman. Yeah.
Also, I imagine like if during the parade, whenever like Onyx catches the cameras like focusing on her, she makes like faces at them.
Hmm.
And after like Onyx grabs.
When she does, all the kids in the crowd make faces back.
Onyx grabs Chewie and puts her on his shoulder so she doesn't get lost, because there's a huge crowd and everything.
So what you're saying is between Onyx and Chewie, they're normal people size now?
Also, there must be a terrifying stack, because Onyx just does not, like... Onyx does not move. You move. And on the other hand, I don't think anyone wants to get too close to Chewie's teeth.
It's fair.
And now they're at face height, too. And Onyx just would probably like go to the food stands and treat herself. And Lily probably too, and obviously Chewie, who probably has the time of life with like all of these food stands, and just like imagine Onyx like eating one herself and the other one just like holding it up.
They have all
Getting
kinds of things that you can
bunch of
imagine
street food.
of like kebabs and tacos and various like encased fried foods like taquitos and egg rolls and all manner of things. It is pretty awesome. And I will say that as things start to come to a close, Susan does approach you guys before you depart the float and gives you guys a bow.
No,
I did the chat.
only. I think. Well, I think everyone gets the reference to that.
I don't think I do.
Can I get a discount?
It's Mass Effect
I'll
joke.
give you a promotion.
Well, now you
can-
have to share it because nobody watching this is gonna know what the fuck we're talking about.
I just made
And
a joke of
it's
Passion.
not for them.
It's not. It doesn't need to be for them, but it's Passion doing the "I'm Shepard and this is my favorite stall in all the Citadel" joke. Pretty much. I'll link you the joke of it.
Okay.
It's great.
Can I help you? Sorry, the dog just rolled into the office and booped my ass, and is demanding attention.
What's new though?
Fair. Susan sort of gives you guys a bow. I wanted to thank you again for the services to the city and also for entertaining us with this display. I know that it's not exactly all of your styles, but I think it definitely helped the city, the people of the city.
And I would like to present you with the T-shirt. It's a special shirt that failed to fire out of the cannon.
Is it like smoking or is it just stuck in the bottom?
No, it just got stuck.
I don't know what
you do not use an explosive propellant.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I had
Do
to
you
think
know
about that for a
Cyberus?
second. I wasn't sure.
Do you
Actually,
know
hold on.
Cyberus?
I was gonna say, but then again, this is a thing that he developed to also shoot rockets as well as T-shirts. So it might.
It would be
actually-
self-propelled rockets.
I could see.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd probably be a spring. It was probably a spring fire one.
I can see a Retroverse themed Artificer where they're the gun one, but it's just T-shirt gun.
Yes.
You've heard of RPG, but have you heard of RPT?
Isn't it funny that Hera, as soon as
Ridiculous.
you started saying that, I'm like, I know exactly what she's going to say there.
It was very obvious, but yeah.
Yeah. And she says, if any of you come to find out that you have another option for any unspent favors, you know where to find me.
Of course.
I think
And
I think Gruk at this point has gotten off the float and went as far away from the crowd as much as possible, which I know would take quite a while,
yeah,
just so he can finally get to a spot where he's like out of the way and out of sight, and he just turns back to normal and he gets back to everybody else. By the time he does, it's probably like this time.
yeah, it's a bit.
Mhm.
When she leaves, she actually steps down off of the float and into the crowd. And I'll say Cyberus because you actually have a really decent, a pretty good passive perception. To everybody else, it probably looks like she just kind of got lost in the crowd. She straight up vanished.
That sounds about right.
That's not a surprise.
That's the least weirdest thing about her.
Have we ever seen her do any like magic stuff?
You've seen her give you guys the charm that let you leave. But that was no different than what
We saw her shrug
Conjuring
off
can
a
do.
headbutt from Onyx.
Yeah, I was about to say I've seen her
Pretty
get
magical.
hit by Onyx and shrug it off. I think that's pretty magical.
That's a good point.
I mean, it doesn't need to be magical. It just could be really fucking tough.
Nah, divine intervention. She's a paladin, clearly.
Diamond skin. Is that a thing?
Emma Frost, you mean?
Diamond
I don't know,
body
I
is
thought there was
monk. That's more. That's
Right.
not
That
literal.
may be-
I don't think.
Diamond skin is literal with Emma Frost.
I thought maybe a higher version of stone skin.
Oh, ow.
No, there isn't. Unfortunately, there might have been an older edition.
Bark skin.
That actually sounds really cool, though.
There is
There
bark
could be.
skin, which
Diamond
is pretty
What
skin.
There's-
other
powerful.
damage
there's
resistances would diamond skin get?
In
Diamonds-
Retroverse, you have Chrome Sheen, which is a spell,
Radiant?
and when rays get shot at you,
No,
they do
no,
less
dude,
damage.
No,
Reflect-
diamond skin would
reflect
increase
radiant.
radiant damage to you, because
Not
think of
if
it,
it's
you
reflective.
hit a diamond. You hit a diamond with a light. It's going to refract inside the diamond.
That's true.
Maybe it'll refract through and out the other side and do damage.
I don't think that's how refraction works.
Not
It basically-
really.
But no, I could see it giving you a weakness to that. to that.
Diamond,
giving you a
diamond skin
massive
gives you
bonus.
immunity to the damage types that stone skin gives you resistances to.
Ooh,
Yeah.
like complete immunity to non-magic weapons. That'd be
Yes.
cool.
We'll talk about this afterwards.
Yeah.
Talking mechanics.
So, is there anything else that the rest of you guys would like to do that evening as the city parties its fucking heart out?
Just join in the party, get a face paint.
Yeah, Passion's probably gonna
Food.
step into the party as well.
It may not turn out that well, but it would be attempted.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
I feel like
Onyx.
though, in a world where like furry races exist, and especially in Del Diablo, there are a lot of people running around with animal heads. I feel like it's not exactly that weird a skill
No.
to have.
No,
Yeah.
honestly, like probably painting would just be effectively a temporary like paint on the skin on the fur,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like it'd be like a temporary, like
Yeah.
you know, like how there's temporary dyes. It'd just be that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
for
And, Onyx would also like just join the party and take like care of Chewie. Possibly flirt with some people, have a nice time with Lily. Probably lose Chewie and just like prevent her from like finding some alcohol-free cocktails and gulping them down.
Harry, speaking from experience here, I feel.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But they're fruit cocktails. They're not fruit cocktails.
I actually, I'm gonna test out something.
oh.
When everyone's away and the crowds are starting to disperse and everything's over and stuff, Gruk
test
pulls
out
out
something. I feel
a
like
fairly
double spell.
fancy looking piece of like almost like a talisman, and it's got the wrapping of that creature that we got when we were in Dark Radix
Oh.
on it.
That scarf thing.
Along with a bunch of expensive herbs and stuff that's worth 150 gold total. And he casts Under over. And I switch over to the Dark Radix.
Oh, no.
No,
Thank you for that spell. You made it yourself. Thank you.
I sure did.
That's like, oh fuck, why did I make this spell?
Because we
Everyone's
need more.
having a party.
Because we need more corruption spells. We seriously do.
Everyone having a good party, Gruk. Let's go on an adventure to the parallel universe.
Now
I
there's gonna be an
guess.
attack happening, and Gruk's gonna be stuck in Dark Radix.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I got another spell slot, another action. I'm back.
It's more that you wouldn't know that something's going on in a regular Radix.
Does anyone have
Maybe
sending?
there's a parade in Dark Radix.
Somebody
Somebody
needs
sending.
Somebody needs sending.
I don't think I can get sending. Actually, what level is sending at?
I think Demona is the only one I can get sending.
Level
Yeah, I
3.
think
I also think it would be a pretty funny thing, like since Gruk like missed the last time we got attacked, more or less, and now we all miss when Gruk gets
would be
attacked in
funniest,
a non-magic zone in Dark Radix.
That'd be fair.
yes, Demona is the only one of you
Yes.
that can learn sending.
I'm just
if it was-
curious. What would Del Diablo look like in Dark Radix terms? Would it not work here because we're just so close to the fray?
She's getting to there. She just said.
Maybe
You
it would be
can't-
easier.
No, you cast the spell. You're just in the exact same spot. Nothing changed. There's no difference between Dark Radix and normal Radix and Del Diablo.
I actually would not be surprised.
That's your cat.
Sorry, Cat.
How about, real quick, I let the other guys RP for a second while I find my notes on this place, because
Oh,
there's
Oh
stuff.
boy.
I thought you were gonna bring the other hemisphere of the brain mask.
Well, while she's doing that, Cyberus would take all of you to the food stall that his friend's restaurant has. And let
Actually,
you try
also-
some stuff.
Also, Passion would try to find the seasonal girls because
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, hang out with
You know
them.
where a lot of good seasons are? At the restaurant?
Is it the Four Seasons?
No, it's called the Grefstaurant because the
Total
owner's-
landscaping
his name's
for
Gref.
Four Seasons total restaurant.
It It'd be a pretty bland restaurant if they only used 4 seasons.
Garlic, pepper, salt.
Garlic, pepper, salt, and MSG. And you
Well,
can
you
actually
need-
make something really tasty with that because MSG makes everything
Yeah, but if
taste better.
but yeah,
Yeah,
if you
that's
only
pretty-
have those 4 things, everything tastes the same, right?
Not
It's all
particular
ratios.
ratio. Also, the other thing is what you're cooking it in, right?
Yeah, but still.
Different types of oils.
Yeah, that too. Technically, that
fire.
would be a seasoned oil, so that would be
Okay.
a seasoning. Go ahead, Kat. Sorry.
So Gruk, you cast it, and let's see. Yeah, it's only an action. Yeah, shit.
You might want to change that to like a minute or something.
I mean, it's a version of plane shift, so
Fair.
Honestly, like I don't see, like it's not something that's super OP.
the
'cause-
dangerous part of is not the spell. The fact is that when you get to the other side, you're fucked usually. But you cast it, and the last time that you stepped through to Dark Radix, you were met just by a fucking wall of color. And it's kind of the opposite here, because you go from seeing these crowds of millions of people in all manner of costumes and the brightest, gaudiest, most ridiculous things they can find, to a barren, rocky landscape that isn't even that like warm dirt brown. It's like blasted black rock that you would imagine you could see on like a moon or somewhere that doesn't have any life at all in it. The ground is a sort of hard packed dust, almost not even like soil. Looking around, you see these tall stone structures, many of which are broken, and scattered all around you every now and then are small puddles of a sort of luminescent pearly white liquid, almost like water that's shining in moonlight.
These stone
And as far as
structures,
you can-
are they like mirrors of the buildings of Del Diablo?
A little bit. They look like similar size, but other than just that shape, it's not an exact thing. It could just be a coincidence of like your eyes seeing things, seeing parallels where they're.
Okay.
It's hard to tell.
I was thinking like Shadowfell with normal D&D
looking at
campaigns, where it's like a mirror version of it, but like the dark side, so to speak.
Looking at these structures, though, you can tell that whatever passes as natural formation of like natural weather patterns here formed these, but at some point they were broken. There are a couple of them that are completely sundered, 1 or 2 that are cracked, and you can see the obvious missing half of it below. And far in the distance, you can see wreckage of massive ships and structures and one gigantic arch that probably stretches for like 60 stories tall, of like this big device with several different rings inside of it.
Now, when you say
And-
ships,
Like there's one that looks actually pretty damn similar to something akin to what the Black Fleet of Del Diablo uses. So like a entirely black galleon, except it looks much older, like a different kind of style to it, like a more old-fashioned kind of boat, like historical. But it's pretty far away. It's hard to tell exactly.
I bend down on one knee, have hand down, and I test the dust. Is it like sand? Is it coarse? And something that a certain somebody doesn't like?
It's less like sand and more like dust, almost. It's incredibly fine, or like ash. It doesn't stain your hands, but like
Does it have a
nothing
smell?
would grow on this. Nothing here has a smell. It's very strange. It looks kind of like a wasteland or like a blasted wreckage.
I
and
really
as
like
you're sort
this picture you've given me. But this is more
and
out of
as you're-
curiosity, and I know I shouldn't be gone too long, so I cast it again to come back.
Okay. I'll say as you're sort of finishing up casting it, you see out of the corner of your eye one of those sort of pearly white puddles of liquid ripple and then lift up. And this sort of almost like stingray or manta ray creature rises up off the ground and starts flying into the distance just as your spell completes.
Cool. I don't know if any of you have seen South Park and cheesing, but it's pretty much what Dark Radix is.
I don't know what that is.
Minus the boobs, though, because South Park.
So there's not much. There's not much left then. Well, I guess
Like an
wild
'80s
landscape.
album cover is pretty much what I'm seeing Dark Radix being like.
Pretty much, yeah. Can you not? I'm doing a thing.
Well, that was worth 2 5th level spell slots.
I mean, what are you going to use them on?
No, it
like
was
that.
it was for me.
It's not like we're gonna get attacked or anything like that. Cat
Ow.
roll for initiative. Immediate.
Do I like no clip and phase into a building now? No, I'm joking.
You didn't really even go far. No, I'll say that you appear like however many steps you moved since before in a very similar place. It's not
Now
far.
you clip into another party goer, and you both take infinite collision damage.
If it's gonna be like teleport,
That
it'd be
sounds-
a little bit of
I
force
should-
damage.
I should include a thing in there for like if you want to go to a specific spot.
You should
'Cause
include
Plane
the
Shift has that, doesn't it?
You should include the teleport thing, like if you shift into. Actually, no. Plane shift does not have that. It's only teleport. that has that.
Actually, I think I might add the teleport thing because I like that like randomness where like even if you know the area really well, there's still a chance that you might be off target. I feel like that randomness works well with corruption.
Yeah. That sounds very fair and fine with that.
For those that are unaware, I made a unique 5th level spell that I don't remember who can cast it. Many people can.
I think pretty much everybody. Cleric,
I know-
Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock, Wizard, De-Fragger, Synthweaver.
That allows them to teleport to the plane shift to Dark Radix, which is basically the reverse of.
Does corruption magic require the caster to be corrupted?
No.
Because that could be something interesting.
And also Gruk
Not all
and
of it is.
maybe Cyberus are the only two that know that spell. Because we got that from the library last time we went.
I need to be 17 before I can use it,
Oh,
and
damn.
then I only get one. Yeah, they don't have a lot
So
of
many
spells.
years from now.
You and I can just keep casting Corruption Roulette on each other. That'll be fun.
We could make it one of the spells that your magic staff with the tier can do.
Oh, it's going to have every one of the Corruption spells she's going to make on it, for sure.
I like
Oh,
you guys
cool.
are just assuming I'm gonna make more, and of fucking course I am because I'm me.
Yeah.
I might make a first level offensive one, but that'll be for later.
So I'll say that you guys have a pretty fantastic night partying. If you would like to, you can meet up with any of the other people that you met during the parade or saw on the various different floats. And
Nope, nearby tree, transport via plants.
just go home,
Yep.
antisocial frog boy.
He's not Frog Boy anymore.
I am
Former
at
frog
heart.
boy.
The soul is
He
still
is a
frog.
frog boy.
At heart, he's still a frog boy. And frog boy
He's the heart of a
goes
frog.
back into his rock and sleeps.
So wait,
And then-
wait.
And then we get attacked.
Does that mean that you're the prince formerly known as Frog?
Yeah. I need a Masamune.
Wait, did the Nirvana kiss you to a...
I don't think so.
Metaphorically, maybe.
Though they did kind of possess your body for a while, so that might be even more intimate.
Kinky?
Nice.
Anyway,
Possession play. Kinky.
Anyway, so Grug gets home and he's gonna act all suspicious and mysterious, and then he just goes over to the sofa and sits down and watches TV.
He watches the TV, which shows
He's
the
probably
parade
the
happening.
first person home, I'd assume.
I just
His Seth is probably out even.
I just imagine Gruk comes home and you can see like all these camera angles of him like doing something, and the way the camera frames it.
You
it
never
looks
see
really
my hands.
suspicious, and then he just you
I'm
don't
rolling
see
up a
that.
doobie, and then I just watch TV
Yeah,
and
No,
stuff.
and then
You're-
he sits then he sits finally on the couch, turns on the TV, and he just has like a bowl of like cereal there, like a
When you
giant
guys-
bowl of cereal.
Passionos.
When you guys make it home, you find that the street has been basically dominated by rows and rows and rows of tables.
Oh no, we
And
got table
there are-
elementals.
Lights strung up.
Hera's
all
worst
over the
enemy.
place, and it looks like a block party has extended into this area with everybody sort of collectively cooking and having dinner together out on the street.
Ashen
Uh,
probably wouldn't return home. She probably would head back to the with the magical girls, the seasonal girls.
Because
you
I
guys,
I have Druid Grove, I think most of the neighborhood knows not to come into our yard. Because in the tall grass there are trees that would they don't attack people, but they kind of just like pick them up and put them back on the street.
In the tall grass, there's Pokemon, and
What?
it's,
How large is that area, though?
It would be the front yard specifically.
Okay, yeah,
It's-
they
it's a
know
pretty
not to
big
go into the
range,
front
but
yard,
I'll just say the front yard.
but out onto the street and everything. If you happen to look out, there's a good chance that some of the random like wild herbs and shit that have sprung up in this forest of a neighborhood that you've made are in these dishes.
Okay, that
Onyx
piques
would
that piques
actually
Gruk's
go-
curiosity. He'll go out.
Onyx would go with they would go home like on the bus probably, because that's how they would roll, and she would like take Lily with her and Chewie obviously to her apartment for change, and I imagine like on the way like from the bus stop to like their house, they get constantly stopped, and because we established that Chewie has a never-ending hunger, she just like gets taste probes like everywhere, and she just like tries everything. It's just like yum yum yum, constantly munching.
Yes.
Permamunch.
Yeah.
Cyberus would spend time at the restaurant and then go hang out with his friends for an after party. You don't know who they are.
We're not cool enough to be friends with them.
It's a different friend group.
the ones that aren't psychos.
Yeah, the ones that don't
Cyrus, I have friends.
looking for they
No,
don't
you
look for
don't
fights
know
all the time.
them. But they're real, I swear.
They are real.
What are the names?
With the-
Bob and
Jim.
Ron and
We don't have none of them are named Bob or Jim.
Gruk isn't
Those are far
really
too mundane.
Gruk isn't really
No
social.
offense, Bob.
then I'm Bobby and Jimmy instead.
So does the neighborhood even know who I am?
I mean, they definitely know who you are. You were on TV.
No, the
Well,
laser
did they
corky
know who
version
you
was on
were?
TV.
True.
So Seth
And on the parade, though.
Yeah.
I guess that's what
Seth
they recognize.
and Squirrely know who you are, but I'll say unless you like make it clear who you are, they don't bring it up. So like they and their family would know. So well, Seth and then Squirrely and his family would know, but nobody else. Everybody else just thinks that you happen to live here. And they don't really care. They invite you in and fill you with
they
as
would
much
know
food
that.
as you can.
They do know that we live there, so.
Yeah, but none of you fucks are there yet.
And how often?
Passion's not even coming back.
How often does Gruk leave? They probably are like, "Hey, did that frog guy leave?"
They probably still think he's in the basement. He's just hoarding there.
Passion even thinks that the frog person's still in the basement
He's
somewhere.
just so fat that he can't leave the basement.
I mean, Atioks aren't technically frogs, but
Mentally,
Surprised Gruk
Gruk
didn't
never
turn the
left
basement into like a labyrinth.
don't tempt me. Oh yeah, DeVito. That's right, my little DeVito in the
Yes,
basement.
DeVito.
Yeah,
Yes.
Gruk is
Perfect.
just Gruk like mentally is like Reject modernity, return to frog.
I want that on a T-shirt.
Just have frog and toad on it. Actually, no, that'd be copyright. But whatever.
I want that, and then like Aya's emoji of Gruk, frog Gruk.
Frog Gruk is such a great emoji.
It's such a good emoji.
Anyway. What all do they have? Is there anything specific?
So Seth brought as many different flavors of tacos as he possibly could, and like a single chocolate cake, which he was very proud of, and then got dwarfed by the entire fucking dessert table that hundreds of people have added to. Pretty much any kind of food you can imagine is here, also including a fuckload of vegetarian options because Squirrely's there. You guys have a decent amount of Beastburg folks
Onyx
by as well.
Rock feels kind of bad, so he goes into the overgrown front yard and gets some of the wild blackberries, and he casts Goodberry on them, and each one of them turns the size of a baseball.
Nice.
Oh, thank you for the sub, Phoenix.
Oh. I'll say there, one of your neighbors is a half-orc that already has like a stack of 3 plates when he reaches for the fruit, and like on one hand you're like, no, that, and then you're like, whatever, who cares? And he immediately eats all of it and then reaches for another plate, and there's just like this look of regret, but also it looks so good.
I just imagine like the orc is Onyx's workout body.
Yes, absolutely. Onyx and Lily and Chewy return home. Passion, the seasonal girls, and Tomo all make it back to their home. Where are Cyberus and Demona landing?
Cyberus would probably be at the friends' party all night and hang out and spend the night there.
Okay.
I just imagine Onyx showing Lily her room. Oh no, wait, she already saw that. That's right. That's why the hole is in the wall.
Technically speaking, Demona basically runs a giant never-ending party as the front to the guild. So I'd probably be spending my time there.
Got that. The hole is in the wall because...
Remind me why there's a hole in the wall?
Lily was already over once, at least.
That's why there's a hole in the wall.
Lily has a powerful kick.
Lily put her foot through Passion's wall.
Yeah.
That is actually why, Cat.
Mm-hmm.
I have no memory of this.
How do you not remember this? Passion gave Onyx shit for it for an entire session.
Okay.
Because Onyx has this gigantic bed. There's literally the entire room, basically. Like you can barely open the door fully to get in, and then there's the bed, and then there's like a wardrobe, and that's basically it. That's the room. There's like basically no floor space.
If you want, I can cast Stonewall. You're fine.
It's gonna hurt next time she puts her foot through it, though.
Nah.
No, it was a strong foot. It was her. She has the
prosthetic foot.
Prosthetic foot.
Stonewall has hit points and AC. It won't hurt.
Yeah, she'll eventually smack through it.
Also by now it's grown over, right?
Yeah, it's been fixed.
Yeah,
it's been fixed.
Did we get a bunch of ramen and super glue and just?
It's been fixed by.
Do you know about that?
By the.
I know what you mean.
Oh, no, I didn't, but I do know that it's got fixed by the growth spell because someone had a bunch of plants in her room.
Oh yeah, the vines like covered the hole. That's right.
Yeah.
So, fun fact: one of those silly life hack things that aren't actually life hacks or stupid stuff. One of them was like if you get a hole in your wall, you can take like those blocks of instant ramen and super glue, and you just drench it in super glue and use like a sander when it's dried to smooth it out, and it looks just like a drywall.
It's genuinely really cool to look at.
It's really cool to look at, but
It's-
you spend so much money on super glue, it's not worth it. And,
Yeah.
and you know, the smell is super glue.
Also, like, that is asking for mice to chew a whole new hole in your wall.
Not when it's drenched in super glue.
No, they're
Mice will eat literally fucking anything.
It'll probably die after it eats like a cubic centimeter of super
I
glue.
mean,
super glue is absurdly toxic.
Yeah.
okay, fair. It's like actual super glue?
Actual
Yes,
super
actual
How
glue.
does that
super-
even drench through ramen, though?
You mash it up.
It's,
like you
it's
make
not
it
around.
It's got-
It's not around anymore. But Mark and
Oh.
Ethan did it for Unosanas,
Okay.
and it actually works.
I thought you meant you piled up the ramen cubes.
I
and
also
just-
want
That's what I was thinking. Like, you just shove a fucking ramen thing in there and
Yeah, yeah.
lather it up like it's goddamn plastic.
Yeah, and you put the super glue on like it's plaster. It's
I
ridiculous.
also want to point out that mice and other rodents, they don't actually eat everything that they chew through.
That too. Also, I have literally seen a mouse chew through a fucking concrete wall.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah,
Did you just sit there and watch it the whole time?
no, like I've seen the evidence of it. I saw the hole that it bored and the fact that it wasn't there before because we built this building. So
Just watching the mouse and saying, someone should do something.
My dad had a little wiener dog that chewed through an aluminum plate that he put on the door, so because it chewed through the door already.
yeah, I can believe it. I can see it.
So yeah,
Anyway,
we're back home. Grok's watching the sports ball. I guess I don't know.
Passion, do you remember when you were going to go to Ranger Command?
After tomorrow, the day after the thing.
Okay.
That's why she ended up staying with the seasonal girls. What's up?
I know what Grok's watching. He's watching the equivalent of like ESPN 4, and they got on mud wrestling, and it's an elf and an oni mud wrestling.
I get it.
Yeah, so unless any of the rest of you guys would like to do anything, you find your rest having eaten as much as you possibly can, hung out, partied, maybe done some studying for some new spells, Demona, that you're thinking of working on, and you guys come to a night's rest. I'm sorry, I just lost my bracelet. There it went. And the next morning, what would you guys like to do? Passion, do you want to start out?
Probably should be the one to finish because I'm gonna take the longest, aren't I?
Probably. So I'll say that you guys would know that she's heading to Ranger Command for a bit. Is there anything the rest of you guys would like to do other than just hanging out and relaxing?
Wasn't there a plan to like have a meeting about did we do that already? Have a meeting with Susan or something about all
Yeah.
the people?
Yes.
We did that while you guys went. That was before you guys went to the library.
Oh, right, okay. I couldn't remember.
Also,
When that happened.
Luke, I love you like randomly disappearing into your background.
It is amazing.
You're like, "Whoop."
There's a pin here between my hands.
Yes, I can see the tips, but that's it.
Gruk will be working on his artifact staff thing, I guess. Just starting on
Okay.
it. And that's all he'll be doing.
Demona would split the time between those new spells and trying to find a specific location or information on a specific location on the grid.
I'll say that the area that you're go ahead and make a no, I'll say that just given enough time and resources, you could gather that you're pretty sure that there are like field notes of a couple of different explorers within the grid that are in the Arachnid Library. And I'll say that we'll probably do that one next time so that we can dedicate a good amount of time because I think you guys tend to like learn and stuff in there.
Fair enough.
Onyx would look into spend some quality time with Lolly and Chewie, and also look into a school she can send Chewie to, because
I'm gonna send you the list of schools that I made, because I'm a big old fucking nerd that actually made 3 different schools for you to send this child to. Passion.
That's my name.
It is, yes. Is there anything else that you plan to do when you go to Ranger Command other than just meet with the person that you intended to meet with?
Can you not remember her name? Or
No,
you
I
just-
can. I just the fact that it hadn't been revealed yet.
Nobody knows. That's the best part
That's fair,
about
yeah.
it. Let's be honest, it's not a surprise for anybody. Passion's just like, yeah, I'm going to Ranger Command. Bye, guys.
Yeah, that tracks.
Normal.
Normal.
I mean, it's your
think
job, right?
Hmm?
It's like going into the office for you.
It kind
Pretty
of
much.
is, yeah. And I think you guys had talked about it was either you guys were going to get like coffee or there are like separate like conference rooms at Ranger Command. I don't remember which one you guys had thought of.
I thought it was a conference room because
Okay, yeah.
Passion doesn't want to do anything too public with this
Okay.
because she doesn't know how the response is going to be.
So when you I'll say that when you come in, she's sitting at the conference room table, just sort of on her, like, has her table on the table and is just sort of
Has
like
her table on the table.
has her phone on the table, and is just sort of like picking at her nails a little bit.
Just Passion does the awkward wave.
Hi.
Hey.
You guys don't see her, but you want to describe what she looks like, Vex?
Should I do an actual description or should I just say what I've based her
I
off?
would say describe the actual description for the handful of people that have no
All right.
familiarity with the game.
One sec, let me just...
I can
Just
share
like-
the art if you want.
I'd be careful about that because...
I meant in the like
Oh,
corruption crew one.
so yeah, I'll
Is that
share...
what I thought video?
Yeah, send it to the corruption crew one, just so
Yeah.
that I have that. I'll actually pull up the picture too because I am blank.
I
It's one
figured
of those-
that was the official art.
that is the official art from that group.
Okay.
thing, yeah. So, I'm trying to remember what she is. A human, has very long, very pink hair, and matching. I assume she's not in her costume, or is
No,
she?
she's in like the typical the standard uniform, but instead of like the button up, she has it sort of off and around her waist, and is
Mhm.
wearing like a red tank top.
Yeah. About average. Actually, I think around the same height as Passion was, if I remember properly, because they're generally around the same height. So giant. What? You know who this is? I know you know who this is, Hera. For a note, it's Star Guardian Lux from League of Legends because I'm a fucking loser.
No, I don't even mean that. I also know who that is in
Yes.
Retroverse. Okay. Yeah.
And for anybody who's not clued in, this is Passion's former teammate from her when she was part of her another
And
team.
ex-girlfriend.
That too.
You forgot the important
No, I
part.
didn't. Hera, I didn't forget.
I just
I mean,
didn't
you
share.
forgot to mention the important
I
part.
didn't forget to mention the important part. The important part was they were teammates. Hera, they were also roommates.
They were roommates.
She's sort of. I think I remember you being taller.
I also was not this species too.
That too, but I figured that was a disguise.
No, this is just how I am now.
Oh,
One of the things that changed when I was brought back.
I'm glad they brought you back.
I am too. It sounds weird to say.
I don't know why that's weird to say. I feel like it's a pretty reasonable thing.
She just kind of shrugs. I mean, it's also not my first time, I guess. You brought me, or someone brought me back. I had the moment of like, nope, Passion doesn't know that. Someone brought me back when I was in
He never.
Altaziel.
You weren't dead when I brought you to Del Diablo.
Passion has a legitimate confused look on her face. He told the gentleman told
The
me
gentleman.
what. I couldn't remember.
I'll say that the words, now that you think about it, the words the gentleman actually used were, "I brought you back."
Then at that point when it clicks, piece of shit.
She's like, "For what it's worth, I couldn't wake you. You were so deep in decryption that you were probably near fragging out if he hadn't helped quash some of it. And honestly, I'm pretty sure in that removing what he did could get him in a lot of trouble where they are."
I mean, granted, not much of a problem now. I'm apparently immune to corruption.
How?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm going to be hopefully. I'm here for two things. One was to talk to you. The other is I'm planning to meet with one of the members of the Circle of Night.
Of course you are. Alone, presumably.
Would I do it any other way? I don't expect trouble. She's the one who brought me back.
Okay, that part wasn't in the file.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume by the she and by the reference that you're talking about the proselytizer.
Passion nods. Yes.
What is her game?
That's what I'm hoping to find out. And I figured going alone for this would be far less conflict than bringing my team with me.
That's probably
Especially
fair.
Onyx. Especially Onyx. She kind of just looks. She's like I was, isn't she?
A little bit. Yeah. Not. She's a bit more punchy, but yeah.
Passion kind of gives her a bit of a grin. With that, I'll take that as a compliment.
It kind of was. The team is not the same without you, for obvious reasons. I mean, we're still going, we're still good, but
I've been keeping track of that,
I figured so.
and well,
I've been keeping track of you guys.
I'm not surprised. Though.
I heard Tomo is starting to take on a leadership role for the seasonal girls. Is that a thing?
Yeah, he seems to be doing a good job of it.
Nice. How about you?
Passion kind of looks. Well, I'm kind of leading the team that I'm part of. Kind of, as in, I mean, you can't really lead something that doesn't really follow instructions. But
so herding cats.
yes, but aside from that, that's all I've really done. And, throwing myself headlong into danger at any point I can.
And took down one of the most terrifying terrorists on the planet at the moment, but that too.
Passion genuinely, oh yeah. Like, she genuinely has a motive. Oh yeah, I did that.
That's the thing that got you killed and you forgot it?
I didn't forget it. Just didn't seem like it was. She kind of. It's gonna be weird, but it's not the most. It kind of has been dwarfed by other things now. The whole Circle of Night, the whole meeting to members who hire up members of the Circle of Night.
Okay. Apparently, they don't tell me shit. Who the fuck? How well connected are you with this circle?
So so I met the proselytizer.
Yeah.
She revived me, and then after that, we collected our bounty from the anarchist.
Right.
And the person who gave us a bounty is another member of the Circle of Night. He actually trapped us in his weird ass basement with a bunch of PCCs, I think he called them.
PCPs?
PCCs, I think is it, right?
CPs.
I don't remember.
I think it was PCC because that's where I got these. And pulls out the 2 weapons she got from the fucking Undying Slasher.
Is she going to mention the puppies?
Okay, I understand now that this is definitely stranger than just kicking the shit out of some asshole calling himself the anarchist.
And then I watched Ranger Prime die in front of me.
I thought you might have been there for that. I knew you were in the city.
I saw how he got crippled and then was in the room when he died. I went into his head with another group that's helping us.
Shit.
And we know who took him down.
Who did it?
Kat, you're gonna have to correct me. What was his name again?
The Tyrant.
The Tyrant, the leader of the Circle of Night.
Great, the one we know nothing about. Awesome.
Well, we know one thing about him. I definitely will not be able to fight him, or our group won't.
Why not?
Yet. Well, if the Ranger Prime couldn't fight him, then I'm not ready to fight him.
Well, no.
But
But
that's not going to stop me from trying.
Ranger Prime is also alone, from what I hear.
Yeah.
He also had that bad habit, from what I recall of history, of going off on his own.
Passion intentionally looks away.
Guilty side look. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about at all. That's not like me at all. What are you talking about? But yeah, I intend to fight him at some point. Obviously, not alone. I know better than that.
I'm glad for that, at least.
I've learned some things.
A few.
Dying kind of does that.
I'm sorry I didn't reach out before. I didn't want to mess up anything you had found there. I knew that you had found friends, and I didn't want to get in the way of any of that, and I knew you were likely to hate me for what I did. I didn't think that you'd think that you were dead, but I also didn't think that the gentleman would let you think that, but...
Passion kind of looks like, I can't hate you. You help me so much. I'm mad at you, but I can't hate you. You know that.
I'm glad for that.
And and I do plan to come back to here once everything's settled. Del Diablo does not get along with me. It is a weird place. It is a weird, weird place.
Things have been pretty weird here too, a bit. Have you heard some of the things that have been happening in the city?
Like what?
Barclay's game was apparently interrupted by insect devourers infected with the Cyberus virus.
Well, at least if it's intellect virus, Barkley has nothing to worry about, but... Scotty, you're muted, so you can't even be...
So, like, on one
Oh,
hand,
I wasn't
wanna-
saying anything.
Okay, you looked like you were saying something there.
No, I'm chewing gum.
Okay.
So, like, on one hand, I want to be like, she'd be like, you know, Barley. On the other hand, it's not exactly
Hold on.
hidden
I
that
want to
she's-
point out that literally
Don't meet your heroes.
They streamed him and the vaccine crew breaking in on Sammy and Passion's date.
Yeah, like, she probably knows that you know. Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
no,
that's
well,
right.
but the Henshin Corps got rid of that because
Yes,
that was like
that's
secret
right, they
identity
did.
issues.
It's a
But
fucking
she
live
probably-
stream on the
Either
internet.
way, yeah.
It's
Either
a
way,
live
she
stream
probably
on
would
the
have heard
internet.
about it either
It's-
way.
It's not going away. That shit stays
Um,
forever.
Fair.
What else? I guess I'm not surprised I even told about that because he's part of the group that I've been working with.
Just lots of strange things. I'm sure you know about the person that everyone in the city is looking for right now that Ranger Command hasn't made any statements about, but
Yes, I was the one to call that in.
what do you know about them? All I know is that she was working with the Digital Wardens with Sammy's team,
Yes.
and then suddenly they were on opposite sides. Was she
She-
the one?
That killed that killed Ranger Prime. Yes. While we were in his head, she I guess did it or something, and took off before any of us knew what was happening.
I can't imagine what dealing with the fallout of that would be like.
Sammy hasn't been dealing with it very well, from what I've seen.
I mean, betrayal by a loved one is pretty hard to get over. I don't know exactly what's happening or where we're going to be sent next. I know that Ranger Command is kind of putting out fires all over the place right now. There are a lot of like strange tensions rising up all over the place. Like the gangs of the city in the Red Emmy have been extraordinarily like coming to the surface much more than ever before.
Probably it's
things that are weird.
because of the Circle of Night, right? They feel emboldened, I guess.
Maybe.
I
It just seems like they're acting out of character. Like the rest of the team and I have, a small corner of the entertainment district that we patrol, and the gangs there are typically like they exist, but they don't really bring it out onto the street. There's more, backroom sort of stuff, but they're not just bold, they're stupid. They're starting fights in the middle of the street for no apparent reason.
You think there's something going on with them? Bigger?
I don't know. I've been hearing stuff about it happening in other places too, of people acting differently than normal. There have been rumors from the covert branch talking about more intellect devourers. Them wearing other people's bodies and causing ship to manipulate large groups of people. I know you had mentioned during your announcement on Henshin Day that they're trying to start a war.
That certainly would be something they could do. Actually, Kat, I put a thing together with the intellect of ours. I'm assuming Passion probably could too, of the intellect of ours and the fact that there is an illithid in the Circle of Night.
Mhm.
And I'm assuming Passion probably could put 2 and 2 together for that.
Oh, and assume that the Illithid.
If the Illithid might be doing something here. Especially because wasn't he linked with Cyblight too?
So I'll say yes. So between like just the passion putting two and two together and remembering from your like monster studies in Henshin Academy, that
Passion didn't go to Henshin Academy, Cat.
fucking monster studies in high school, whatever. That they usually work together well. You also have full access to Stage, the like program that the professor built, and in that some of the evidence he found did suggest that the collective was one of his strengths is knowledge of the Cyblight virus,
and also his allies are intellect devourers.
Yes.
Yeah, Passion would say it's probably the collective then, the Illithid weird person, or Mind Flayer weird person.
And what do we know about them?
Passion kind of pulls out her phone, goes research. I'm assuming because they have it set up so she can look through.
You actually have the rare case. I believe that I don't think this is one of the ones that Passion saw, right?
This is not one of the ones Passion saw.
Okay, no.
Vex, out of character, has fought against this thing.
Okay, no, you saw him during a fight. You didn't fight him.
We were gonna fight. My character 100% would have fought him.
You were gonna fight Susan. It doesn't mean it happened.
I mean, Onyx fought Susan.
That doesn't count.
Was it a fight?
Punch happened, headbutt happened, therefore fight happened.
Doubt.
Why doesn't it count? Hold on, why doesn't it count?
I mean, technically you didn't roll initiative, so I get what Kat's saying here.
Susan didn't participate in any fight.
I mean, she was participating whether she liked it or not.
I was about to say, yeah.
So I'll say that you do have like a rough sketch of the collective.
And then you kind of show her the all the information from the Stage.
This is a lot of information. This is more than Ranger Command has passed out, but I think they're still working on compiling some of it.
We have a pretty good person for this. By pretty good, I mean he's... The other group trusts him, and I trust them.
Okay.
He's actually the one who got us into the Ranger Prime's brain and memories. So...
Yeah,
But she then said, but I've also been brought back to life from a person who is against me, apparently. So things are strange right now.
well, not everybody in an organization has the same goals. They might have the same end goal, but different things on how they should get there.
Yeah. What worries me is that she thinks I can be helpful for whatever she's planning.
That's unsettling.
You and me both. There.
Yeah. I will say, this collective thing, I've not seen it, but it does have a very unique the cybernetic eye that it has. It has this strange sort of star-shaped pattern on it. She's like, I think I've actually seen this in a ranger report of... It was a group that was actually working in the grid for a short time. I can send it to you if you want.
I'd be appreciated.
It was the eye was in a human man, so it's obviously not this individual.
But there's definitely going to be a link there. Yeah, that'd be good to have no matter what, because, well, I know which two I'm covering for now, at least in terms of trying to figure out if we need to, well, what
so
we
you're
need
going
to do.
you're going to go talk to the person that brought you back, but also might won't hate you, and then to the man that locked you in his basement full of monsters.
Yeah, that's about sums it up.
Got it. That sounds like a smart idea. Mm-hmm.
I thought so too, she says with a smirk on her face.
You're at least gonna take them for when you go talk to the Predator?
I might not take Onyx. I think she might try to murder him no matter what. Not gonna lie, I think most of my team is going to try that, though. He seemed to not want to kill us, that's the thing. And he mentioned afterwards that he has a job for us, which is also unsettling. Yeah. That was him locking us in his basement was what he called a tryout. So
yeah,
I don't think he's gonna try and kill me, but
he might be forced to make it look like he's trying, though. If he works for the others.
She kind of just shrugs. He also is paying us money, so yeah, she kind of look. I have a lot of money from the bounty, and he's the one who's paying it out.
Oh, that's.
I mean, Kat, I'm gonna make
helpful.
a joke. She was always been rich. Now she's just extra rich.
I am double rich.
I am double rich, exactly.
Okay, Hertz.
Passion's superpower is she's famous.
Well, just be careful and maybe don't straight up just ask these guys to punch you in the face this time.
That wouldn't be
Throwing
me.
it out there.
That'd be Onyx.
Or blow up your house, that too.
Hey, it worked. We got him out to come
Yeah,
out.
by him killing you.
I can always grow a new home.
If these people kill you and you're alone, how are your friends even gonna know you're dead?
They'll know. Because so for a note, Passion does leave her familiar at home, so they would know the moment she dies, because that's what she has the familiar there for. I left a familiar back at home. They'll know.
That's a weird thing, because, like...
In canon, familiars actually don't die.
Do they? I thought they did.
No. They can survive without their master. They can reattune to someone else.
Well, the other thing is they're not... The other thing is they're not real animals, they're spirits.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
if they die after their person
they might
dies,
not be able to manifest.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they, I've always
friends.
Yeah.
If they're manifested when their master dies,
yeah.
As long as they don't get to 0 hit points, they last as long as that normal
Oh,
animal
okay, yeah. I was thinking if they were in the
the nether storage.
Oh yeah, no,
Yes,
they're gone if they're there. They're just...
Yeah, they just.
But would they then know that their boss is dead?
Yes.
Well, in core D&D, they would go back to the Feywild or to.
Mm-hmm. They would disappear.
Yeah, their spirit would go back to whatever realm they come from. I'll say that from what Passion knows of, at least of the Henshin guardian spirits, they.
Passion doesn't bring her guardian spirit out, remember? It hates
I know, but he was also the one who fucking told them that told some people she was dead.
That's true. She also,
that they have a stronger personality and tend to be able to remember their person a bit more.
Also she
travel a bit
so
more freely.
one of them is a Henshin. They'll know pretty well immediately.
That's fair. Just don't die, please.
Passion looks at it. I make no promises, but I'll try my best not to. She gives her a grin.
I really don't want to have the first time I meet Sammy be at your funeral, okay?
She gives the thumbs up. Like I said, I'll do my best. You know this. I can't just not do anything.
I know.
I'll have to come. I'll have to come meet the team again soon.
They miss you.
I'll have to bring Sammy too. Maybe that's how you can meet her.
That'd be nice.
She'd love the group. She kind of just pot. No, she does love the group. You've definitely at least probably seen her online.
Oh yeah. She says Dino was kind of. There were a couple of those fights that we've seen Barkley stream that she was very excited about. And I'm not sure if they're actually for sale, but I think I saw somewhere on somebody in that group's what was the Twitter
Meeper.
On a Meeper that there is apparently a #1 Solar Lady fan.
Yeah, I have one. I feel like that's the only true one, though.
There are two. Lyra has the other one.
No, Kat, I'm making the joke of there's only one true one.
So good luck, I guess.
Keep me updated as much as you can, and I'll do the same. Because
I will. Yeah.
See how you kind of.
Let me know what you learn. They kind of have a chokehold on the information, just because they're trying to figure out what the fuck to say to everybody before.
Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Just be safe and be very careful.
You too.
I always am.
And she does the awkward thing where she wants to get up and move in for a hug, but doesn't know how you feel about it.
Nah, Passion gives her a hug.
She hugs you back real tight.
I'll see you soon.
I missed you.
I missed you
I'm
too.
glad you're good.
Make
Don't
out.
die.
Well, I had the feeling if Barkley was nearby, he would 100% say that.
Yes, 100%.
No, he would say he has to go somewhere and there's some important things he needs to do and jumps out the window.
Accurate. Yeah. And is there anything else that you'd like to do before you leave Ranger Command?
Well, she's already shared all the information. She probably would send in and go in there, make sure that they have all the info, talk with them, see if they have any other info, tell them to keep her up to date on if they get any more info, all that.
I'll say that she
bullshit.
gave you the information to get that report
Yeah.
of the Henshin that ran into.
Pasha would grab that, then collect that and
Yeah.
send it to the group chat. Because, probably the best to send that to.
Freedom of information. It's amazing.
Hey,
Yeah,
it's
More
your,
eyes on it, the better.
It's your girl,
better.
Passion.
Drop another hot
Ranger Henshin update. I don't know.
hot Henshin updates.
Here on Witch Prime.
And unless anybody else would like to do anything before we end, I think we'll end there.
Perfect way to end it.
And pick up next time with, I believe, 1 or 2 people wanted to go to the library again.
Real quick, before we end, I'm just curious. Again, I'm going to do once more the Upside Down, but I'm going to do it at the area in Demona's secret base, where Demona was so kind to have a research station, workshop station for Cyberus and I to work on this artifact.
Okay.
Good idea. See what's on the other side so we don't get surprised. Or use it for storage.
Oh, I was also thinking maybe there's something nice in there that we can use as a physical part of the artifact.
Ah. Wonder what it would take to form a permanent gateway.
I could do it, but not now. And that would be a very bad idea. Even Gruk knows that.
I'll say, so, 1, you only know of one of those that exist.
The Fray. The Fray. And the other one.
Technically 2.
And the
Yeah,
other
the
one.
one.
The one in the guy's lab.
Yeah. So when you cast the spell and step through, you go from standing on like that plush red carpet to walking on sand. Except whereas the previously it had been like that really dusty ash. This is like proper desert sand, and you look around and you are in a desert, and you can see these dark mountains in the background that almost look like two perfectly shaped, almost like pyramids, but somewhat natural.
They're almost like
and then,
they're almost like a crystal prism formation, is what you're saying.
kind of, yeah. And scattered all throughout the sand in clusters are these like rock clusters, but they're of this crystal that is dark and then has this like whirl of blue and purple light within that sort of swirls. And they're scattered all over the place, and arcing between them occasionally are little bolts, little arcs of lightning.
I'll take my Void Tree staff, and I'll poke it from a distance, see if the color in the inside changes or affects on the touch.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Go ahead and make a.
Can I do like we'll just say that like this is an investigation check. I'm just seeing like, would it be feasible that I could maybe harvest some of this later? I don't have the equipment right
Okay.
now.
Go ahead and make a investigation check for me.
Man, I am not rolling super good. Let me look.
Oof.
11.
Watch, you got. Oh, I was gonna say, I'm like, watch. This has got like a 27 or some shit.
No, I'm not proficient with investigation.
Okay. In that case,
I am proficient in
roll
Arcana, but
roll a dexterity save for me, please.
Wee. Okay, how'd you roll? Much better, thank you. Okay. 19. So I only take like 50 damage, right?
Not 50. You take 10 lightning damage as you reach forward, and that lightning from all of the others around arcs back in patterns and hits your staff and shocks the shit out of you a little bit. I will say though, you do see after that happens, all of the arcs go still for a moment, and you don't see any for several seconds. And then after a minute or two, they start to come back.
Interesting. And I think that's where I'll stop for now, because we're trying to wrap things up.
Yeah. And next time, we'll see Gruk maybe get tased a little bit by a weird crystal formation. Maybe come back with some, maybe just come back a little chicken fried.
Yeah, Cyberus and Demona would have better equipment.
Passion is definitely not going to get herself into incredible amounts of trouble.
That's just a normal day from Passion. Let's be honest here.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next time.
Hey, Billboard's art.
Okay.
Does Gruk need Cyberus to beat up a big crystal?
Maybe
get Onyx in here. Who knows?
That is the most patronizing way to describe that ever. I am so here for it. I love it. So, plugs real quick. Hera, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I only have one thing. Every other Sunday at 12:30 p.m. over on
Fractured Moon D&D.
Fractured Moon D&D. What should be in the friends down there? We in this case on here is Bex and I as the GM are playing Masks. It's called Starfall Academy. Last time we had a date that ended in the date turning into a demon. And
I hate when that
ended
happens.
the session with the two daters falling out of the sky in free fall.
It's
after-
literally literal cliffhanger, pretty much.
literal cliffhanger, basically.
That sounds less like
Except
a
nobody's
cliffhanger.
actually hanging on a cliff. It's more like a already falling off.
Yeah.
Free faller.
a cliff falling.
A free faller. Yeah, and that's where we'll pick up on the next session is on the the 17th.
You said
Nice.
12:30. Is that Eastern Standard or is that
Yeah,
GMT?
EST.
Yeah, EST.
EST.
My bad.
Okay.
PM.
For a note,
EST.
yeah, most of the time I'll get her to say the EST time because that's how I remember it.
And it's, I don't know. We're on the internet and everybody's everywhere. So
Yeah,
That's
no,
fair, yeah.
Totally fair.
Yeah. Luke, do you want to go next? Got anything?
Well, a local Chinese restaurant that the kitchen burned down last January finally reopened recently.
oh sweet.
Good.
Hey,
So I'll go there as soon as it's not like a 3-hour wait every day.
I had Chinese tonight and it's so good.
I'm after this game. I'm making some fried rice. So
I have no idea what this Chinese restaurant is, but I'm very proud of them to be able to actually bounce back after that, after everything that's gone on in the last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a kitchen fire, and then last September, when they were still under reconstruction, somebody broke in and stole copper wiring, which seems stupid and mean, especially since everyone loves this place.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the idea of it because copper wire is very expensive right now, but also dick move.
But how am I going to get my peanut butter chicken
Exactly.
if they don't have wires? They're like the best peanut butter chicken around this.
I
area.
believe it.
It's called Three Happiness if anyone ends up in Omaha, outside of the regular part of the city.
Okay. Cool.
It's awesome though.
Vex, what do you got going on?
Well, aside from what Hera just said, because I play in that game as well, every other Thursday at 8:00 p.m. EST, bunch of people here. So Kat, Scotty, Aya, Callie, Kev, and me, and Dylan too, but Dylan's not in either of these games, so all play in a game called Saffron Academy, a bubblegum shoe based game that Aya is the GM for, and it is a lot of fun. It's a bunch of chaos, so come watch that. Come watch that because it's a blast. We had a hell of a session.
I clipped some of the shit from that episode. It was
Last 2 sessions ago, Callie forked somebody.
yeah.
To give an idea of the theme of the game, it's like a teen mystery novel kind of thing going, except where probably late teens were like college grad student age,
College students,
and it's
with,
it's the school of magic. So
yeah,
we have like satyrs and a bunch of other stuff.
and I casted fist on someone and decked them in the head because they were being dicks.
I don't think anyone's a human in the party either.
Alistair.
Oh, it was Alistair? Okay.
Alistair's a human. I think also isn't Amy a human?
It's weird in her world because technically witches and wizards and super sorcerers
Are their own
are
thing, but they're humanoids. They're humanesques, right? Like they're
yeah.
near humans.
The reason I was going to say that is it's a very very fantasy. It's very much not.
It's yeah.
We have
It's
both versions of elves, both Tolkien and Keebler.
Yeah.
How are they similar?
And a bunny girl and cat angel girl.
and when we say angel, biblical angel, not Christian angel.
Terrifying.
So eyes everywhere and like 20 wings.
Do not be afraid. You would not believe the amount of memes I have been sending back and forth about this. It is amazing.
Yeah, so go check that out.
And you can find that same channel Hera said, Fractured Moon D&D.
For me, I have a couple of things on DM's Guild. They are awesome. The first one is Birds of Paradise. It is a 5e racial supplement for Aarakocra and Kenku, and it just recently hit silver, and it's super cool, and I love it, and I had a ton of fun making it with Florian from Poison Potion Press. My other one is Crook and Wands, a 5e magic item supplement that I wrote with the wonderful Maddie, who eventually may or may not be showing up for our like yearly Ravenloft run shots that we do with Kevin. eventually, hopefully soon,
Oops, wrong
I will
chat.
have the Baltimore by Night Vampire the Masquerade Vampire 5th edition videos up somewhere on the internet, somewhere on a YouTube channel that I haven't made yet. So keep an eye out for them. I'll post them on my Twitter. And Scotty, what about you? You want to close this out?
Oh, right. Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow we will be not having Chaos Crew because of family stuff, but we will be having Ghost of Saltmarsh tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The group is in the middle of Tamarot's Fate adventure, and they're in the fort, and a bunch of zombies with blue barnacle things on them are attacking the place. And they just got rid of the ones that are there, but they're pretty sure that's not the last of them. So
Yep.
if you want to see how that will pan out, check that out tomorrow night. And if you want to support this channel and other content I make, you can check out my Patreon, which is linked on my Flow page on Twitter, along with my Fiverr account, where I do freelance graphic design work, and all of my DM's Guild products, which are all aquatic-based ones. The most popular one is probably a mix between the Connection of All Warlock Patron, that's with Aya. That's like Power Friendship Warlock, and Zebediah's Fishing Techniques and Equipment, which has a copper badge. So, yeah, you should check them out.
Yeah. And if that's everything, we will see you guys in 2 weeks. We pick up with a handful of people going after information about various members of the Circle of Night.
Mm-hmm.
One last thing.
Oh, yes.
Sirenscape.
They're rad.
can't just-
Technically, we did not hear any music from them tonight. But they are the system we're using to pipe this through, because they're once you actually figure out how it works, uploading music to them is super easy. What we were listening to tonight all night long was Triangles by Diamond Ace. They are awesome, and I'm loving this song so much. I'm actually going to send the link to you, Scott, if you want to throw it into the chat. It's
Yeah,
in the
sure.
Zoom chat. There you go. Go check them out. They're awesome. This download is free, but they also have other songs that you can buy for actual money if you would like to support this awesome artist. Yeah.
All right.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.